Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod, and I'm here to talk about Big Brother Reindeer Games Episode 1. I'm so excited about this. I sat down in front of the TV and said to my sister, this is going to be the best hour of my life. Before I dive in, I'm going to put a link in the subject of this video to my playlist where you can watch the rest of my Big Brother Reindeer Games videos, including my cast first impressions video. And if you like the video, don't forget to subscribe, it really helps me out. Also, stick around to the end of the video where you'll find out who gets my present and lump of coal for the week. But let's get into it. We start off with the Big Brother house, which is decked out for the holidays. The narrator says the ornaments are hung, the presents are wrapped, and the cocoa is steaming hot, which should have been a poem but wasn't. And then Santa does read a poem. Santa is played by any actor that we don't recognize. Santa says that he's watching BB on his P Plus subscription and gets an idea of how to fix his affliction. The house guests are turned into a cartoon, which is cute, and Santa of course says his trademark ho ho ho. Call me old fashioned, I never get enough of Santa saying that ho ho ho. Taylor is first to blue skidoo into the Christmas house, and there are photos of Taylor being fabulous at all ages. She sings her own version of Jingle Bells, and then Cody comes in. Cody is now recently engaged and reminds us that he won Big Brother. I tried to block that from my memory. Taylor tells us that she's here to crack some nuts, and the guys have to go as soon as possible. Brittany is wearing a tree sweater. She gives Taylor a big hug, and this is my multiverse of madness. Brittany reminds us that she's the best in the diary room and is clearly planning on keeping that up. Xavier is also engaged now and seems excited to meet Taylor. Danielle is a grandmother of 5. I didn't know that, and she looks great. She tells us that she wants to be the villain of the season. Frankie introduces himself as star of stage and screen, and he skitters down the stairs and cuddles right up to Cody. I hope that this alliance doesn't happen. Like, obviously it's gonna happen, but can we just have nice things for once? Nicole is wearing pigtails. She's married to Victor now, and she says hi to her baby Arrow at home. Cody reminds us that he betrayed Nicole, and she tells us that they haven't spoken since then. Come on, Nicole, get his ass. Josh pops in saying he must be on the nice list. I'll be the judge of that, Josh. Production has conveniently given Josh 2 pots and pans for him to slam as he makes a big entrance down the stairs. Cameron instantly reminds us that he's a daddy to a little girl, and he's wearing his finest tassels. Santa comes on screen and lip syncs for his life to Big Brother announcer's voice and explains the rules, or is this what that announcer looks like? The one player who does the worst in the competitions each week will have to go home, and the final 4 will compete in the Reindeer Games in the finale. So if the final 4 competition is the Reindeer Games, what is the rest of this? Santa tells them the prize is 25 billion North Pole tinsel tokens, which converts to 100,000 US dollars. The rules each day will be different. They'll play as individuals, duos, or teams, and everything will have to do with challenges. Frankie tells Santa, yes, queen. Cameron is jolly as can be that it's all about challenges. Brittany refers to the cast to Danielle as, oh my god, it's the entirety of the cast of BB16, and Danielle agrees that the threats have got to go. Frankie says that he and Cody are like brothers, and they're instantly up each other's butts and scheming in the kitchen. Cody says Frankie is the best competitor ever to compete on the show. Nicole and Brittany meet and have an awkward conversation where they talk about drama they've had at home. Nicole says Brittany betrayed her, talking about her online during Big Brother 22. This was some good, light drama, and they make up and want to work together. Josh and Taylor meet, and they want to team up with Xavier and Danielle. Taylor is eating a scrumptious looking croissant. Xavier and Danielle join them and seem down to team up, but then Danielle tells us in diary that she's up to her old naughty tricks and she's going to betray them eventually. The doorbell rings and in comes Jordan, winner of Big Brother 11 and player of BB13. We get some pictures from home of she and Jeff, and I know that there was some fatigue of Jeff and Jordan at some point, but I could never and still can't get enough of them. Also, I haven't mentioned it at all, but Jordan, Derek X, and Tiffany are going to be the hosts for this. They're Santa's little helpers. Julie Chen obviously wanted nothing to do with this program. Jordan unveils her scroll and tells us that the first challenge each day will be the naughty or nice challenge. Cameron says he doesn't want to raise a clatter and winks at us. Jordan tells us that DJ Scroogey has a riddle and refuses to perform until it's solved. There are clues around the house to DJ Scroogey's favorite holiday song. They can ring the bell and make a guess, but they can only make one guess, and the first person to get it right wins the naughty and nice power. This reminds me of the competition that June won in Big Brother 4, where she got to leave the house and go to the VMAs or whatever, and I'm glad to see them trying some classic things for this. The first clue is a little lit up house, and the second clue is a finger pointing up. X guesses grandma got run over by a reindeer, which is truly a terrible guess. The third clue is a top. Taylor is throwing the comp, so she's not guessing. Brittany and Danielle conspire, and Brittany guesses up on the housetop, and Brittany wins the first competition. This challenge was also really fun to play along with at home. I straight up didn't know the name of the song. True insanity is me sitting on my couch, staring at the TV, going up, up on the rooftop, click, click, click. And to celebrate, DJ Scroogey, who is a marshmallow, plays a remix of this song, and this scene is litty titty. They are twerking. This is good fun, and the closest thing we've ever gotten to good music on this show. Brittany's power is she gets an advantage in the next challenge. She can also put someone on the naughty list and give them a disadvantage. Cody is worried because he doesn't have a great relationship with Brittany. Brittany feels bamboozled and would like to have a word with Santa because she thought she was going to be safe, and now she's still not safe and has to make an enemy in the house. Brittany and Nicole sync back up to strategize about who to give the disadvantage to. Brittany wants to give the disadvantage to someone who can beat her in the challenge, which makes sense. Nicole points out that Frankie and Cody are close. Like I said earlier, get their ass, Nicole. Danielle joins them and suggests Cody, Cameron, and Xavier her new ally. Brittany says she's holding meetings in her power layer next to the bathroom. Brittany says Cameron is still looking tired and haggard from Big Brother 25. She's intimidated by Josh because he trains on Instagram and may be a loose cannon maniac, and she's threatened by Cody because he has winner energy. She says that Xavier is giving her nothing and has no original thoughts. Frankie, who's giving big Dorinda medley energy in this look, tells Brittany to disadvantage one of the guys. He tells Brittany that Xavier won Big Brother, and she's shocked to find out that he won. Taylor tells Brittany to nominate Cody. Taylor tells us she wants to cut Cody the gingerbread man off at the legs. Brittany wraps up her meetings saying the Christmas surprises are neither fun nor festive. Brittany conducts the naughty and nice ceremony and decides to put Cody on the naughty list. Nicole is most pleased. Taylor DRs that the game is going exactly how she wants it to. Now we go to the Jingle Bell Brawl, which is the second competition. This is when I realized the episode was actually 2 hours, not 1 hour, so I turned back to my sister and said this is about to be the second best hour of television of my life. Jordan, who is earning her day's wage, is out in the backyard and tells us that the winner of the Jingle Bell Brawl will get safety, and the winner of this comp will also have a big hand in who ends up going home. For the next challenge, they need to get the North Pole post office in order by grabbing letters, racing across the balance beam, and placing their letters in another player's mailbox, then grabbing a letter from their own mailbox, bringing it back to the post office. A lot of running back and forth, and Brittany will start off with one less letter, Cody will start off with an extra letter. Basically, the first player with no letters left in their mailbox will win the challenge, and this is a fun challenge. It only works in a game like this, and not on Real Big Brother because it would just be a team up on the weak players. Here, they're incentivized to team up on the strong players. Also, I apologize if my description of the rules of this challenge were all over the place. I think it was so complicated, and they didn't do a good job on the show of explaining the rules to us. Frankie starts playing early by announcing to everyone that he's evenly distributing the letters. Cody is targeting Nicole. He mocks her accurately in the diary room. Many people are putting letters in Cameron's box because he's the least connected player in the house. They point out that Josh sucks at the balance beam. Danielle says maybe Josh had too many meatballs. Cody takes a hard fall, eliciting an "ooh, that's gotta hurt" from Jordan. This challenge seems like it took a long time to complete. There's a lot of letters and a lot of running back and forth. The challenge seems to come down between Frankie and Taylor, and Frankie ends up winning and wins boxing gloves with bells on them. Alongside being safe, Frankie's prize is he gets to pick 2 players to send down to Santa's Showdown, where they'll compete and one of them will be eliminated. So basically Frankie is HOH. Brittany says that she feels pretty safe, and they don't talk about this on the show at all, but Frankie, Brittany, and Danielle filmed that promo like 6 months ago together. They must have some kind of agreement going into this. Xavier and Cameron tell us that they feel unsafe. Cody and Frankie strategize after the comp. Nicole walks in and they make a little BB16 alliance out of desperation on Nicole's part here. This is textbook Nicole play. Running straight to the HOH with that nervous look in her eye. Frankie goes to his HOH office. By the way, there's no beds in the house because they're not sleeping there. They're probably sleeping in a hotel, which personally I'm fine with. Of course, in his HOH office, there's a giant bell that I'd be more impressed if he didn't pick up the bell and ring it around. Danielle is of course the first one to meet with Frankie. Frankie wants Cameron out and thinks the only people who can beat Cameron are Cody, Xavier, and Josh. Frankie talks to Cameron, and Cameron is truly still in BB25 mode. He's waxing poetic and running in circles. Taylor goes full sword, telling Frankie to target Cody and telling Frankie to save Xavier, making it clear to Frankie that she and Xavier are allies. Frankie runs that information right back to Cody, while Taylor munches down on the Lays in the kitchen. Frankie ends up nominating Cameron and Xavier, saying it's because Cameron had the most envelopes in the competition, and Xavier Xavier put envelopes in Frankie's box, but these reasons seem like bullshit. They come into Elimination Challenge and there's a giant sweater puzzle set up. They need to fix the Yeti's giant sweater. Instantly, I think this is right in Cameron's wheelhouse. Cameron puts his hair in a ponytail. Xavier mocks putting his hair that he doesn't have into a ponytail in what is probably the funniest thing Xavier has ever done. So they're working on the puzzle, which seems pretty difficult. The editors are experimenting with some slow motion action, which I like. Xavier is starting with the sleeves and Cameron is starting with the reindeer in the middle. Jordan says Cameron is starting in the middle. Never seen that before. Danielle says you guys are doing way better than Caitlin. I say justice for Caitlin. Caitlin for Reindeer Games too. This challenge looks really hard. It rivals eliminations on the challenge. They're running back and forth and they're wearing sweaters, so they are sweating. Xavier ends up winning the challenge and pretty much whooping Cameron's butt. I definitely am eating my words from my first impressions video where I said Xavier isn't a big challenge threat because this was crazy. He beat Cameron by a landslide. And Cameron is eliminated here and gets to pick a gift from under the tree. He wins a year subscription to the Jelly Club and we have to say goodbye to Cameron, ending a 6-month Cameron marathon. I was excited to see Cameron here, but definitely didn't want him to win the whole thing. But this was a nice little appearance where he showed up, tried valiantly. He didn't really make many mistakes, and I'm sure a lot of these people were pre-game strategizing ahead of this, and he didn't have the time, and it shows. I look forward to seeing Cameron again on the Challenge USA or Challenge Main show. We'll definitely see him again, maybe on Big Brother. But for now, I hope he enjoys the holidays with his family. Also, to wrap things up, I freaking love the Reindeer Games. This is my new favorite show. I'm glad they're using the BB House as a set for social strategy games when it's not in use. And I like that this show made the 2 hours seem really jam-packed with limited commercials. There was a Stop and Shop commercial promoting blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries, which is obviously Felicious Kennan's influence. So as I said earlier, every episode I'm going to give out a present and a lump of coal to who I feel like played the best and the worst. I think I'm going to give the lump of coal this episode to Frankie. So hear me out. Cody said that Frankie is the best competitor on Big Brother of all time in his opinion, and I agree that he's one of the better competitors, but did he need to win this Jingle Bell Brawl competition? His game was not at risk. He seems to be a very well-connected person in the house. He ends up nominating 2 strong male competitors, setting a precedent of nominating strong competitors, and he also is a strong competitor. Also, in the process, nominates Xavier, who now is going to be coming for that ass. Also, advertising to the house that him and Cody are like brothers, pretty much guaranteeing that him and Cody are going to be in the elimination competition at some point together. So here is that juicy lump of coal. For my present, I really want to give my present to Danielle. She's definitely playing hard and this is exactly what we want to see, but she's also playing really messy. So she's an honorable mention, but for this episode, I think I'm going to give the present to Brittany. Comes in after a long hiatus, wins the first competition, gets to have a bunch of meetings with pretty much everyone in the house, lock in some relationships, build some alliances, mend fences with Nicole. She really ends up getting all the upside to having like a first HOH where she's having all these meetings and building some relationships. Through this, she gets to mend her relationship with Nicole and solidify some kind of alliance. She's not really seeming like a threat from winning the competition because it really was just guessing a Christmas song. Also, a few of them had the same guess. Brittany was just the fastest. In the end, she didn't really have to make any big decisions, whereas Frankie had to pretty much nominate 2 people. Brittany just gave a slight disadvantage to Cody. I think everyone except for Cody and Frankie were grateful to Brittany for doing this. Also, if even Cody wins the Jingle Bell Brawl next episode, is he going to come after Brittany, someone who could easily be beaten in the finale? I don't think so. I hate to say it, but this is probably the best round of gameplay from Brittany ever. She also might have given us a whole season worth of diary rooms in one episode as well. Like I said the other day, dinner is served and we are eaten. So that's all I have to say about this episode. If you liked the video, give it a like and a subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow to talk about the next episode of Reindeer Games. Until then, stay holly and jolly. Bye.